This is the truth about TRT for libido and erections. I think that people often hear and think, therefore, that if they've got libido problems, erection issues, fatigue issues, otherwise issues that could be related to testosterone, getting on TRT is just going to solve those issues by just injecting testosterone. The actual truth regarding TRT relative to sexual function is that it is a science and requires you to dial in a protocol tailored to you, but with some generality specifically regarding DHT and estradiol, as well as functional testicles that have to be in place for sexual function to work. Some people are never going to dial in on the ester that they're using. They've got to switch. TRT can give you full-blown erectile dysfunction. The clinics rarely know how to dial you in, and every cookie-cutter approach usually fails. We're going to take a cold, hard look about the truth of TRT, but importantly on the other side, how to strategically manipulate your protocol so that you're successful regarding libido and erections on testosterone replacement therapy. Let's get into it. All right, first out the video, Cortex Labs is my company, a performance optimization, sexual dysfunction resolution, and TRT coaching company. It is Black Friday. We've got major discounts, 50% off everything. Quickly have a look. Right now for Black Friday, the coupon code BLACK50 saves you 50% on all TRT products. Coaching, one-on-one, sexual dysfunction resolution, fixing libido and erection problems on TRT, or from the use of hair loss drugs, 50% off right now. Enter BLACK50 at checkout and you will save thousands of dollars on any coaching program that you want to book. Source list, a compilation of the most vetted sources for any anabolic you can think of. Everything you need, test of any ester, DHT, high potency gel. Also 50% off for Black Friday. Mastering Testosterone Cream, a revolutionary new course showing you how to dial in libido and erections on Test Cream, 50% off. Coupon code again, BLACK50 will knock 50% off of the price, reduces the price substantially. Mastering Testosterone Cypionate, a revolutionary course that shows you how to dial in libido and erections with one of the hardest esters in the world. 50% off again, coupon code BLACK50 saves you 50% on all of our major TRT products right now. Use that code BLACK50 and save 50% off of every product. There are a few exceptions, but most products you're getting half off right now for Black Friday. Code's in the description. Listen, if TRT was as easy as just injecting testosterone and then you've got like fucking steel rod morning wood and you're as horny as you were when you were 17 years old and you're strong and masculine and confident and you have no acne, everybody would inject 200 milligrams of cypionate a week. We'd take 0.25 milligrams of anastrozole and we'd all be happy. But I'm going to show you something very alarming. And this is just a handful of threads. Anyone have trouble reaching orgasm? I've had a little bit of success with TRT with ED issues I was dealing with the last few years, but it feels like slowly I've been losing the ability to reach orgasm consistently more recently, which is very frustrating to say the least. This happens all the time. And again, well, I'm going to get to why it all comes down to estradiol DHT, them being in the right ratio and balance for you, not taking bullshit advice from the internet. But this happens all the time. Here's another one. Difficulty reaching orgasm. Been on TRT for a year now, but the last few months, it's very difficult to reach an orgasm. I have to really concentrate and tighten on my core and legs hard. Like, what boys, what the hell is this? Next one, so hard to dial in. Guy goes into his situation using tadalafil, using cypionate, doing HCG. Guy goes to his doc and gets an antibiotic, thinks it's related to bacteria. Like, people end up, because they can't dial in, as they don't know the core principles of dialing in sexual function on TRT, thinking it's all kind of wacky shit. Yeah, let me take an antibiotic. That might help. What were your struggles getting testosterone dialed in? 8 years on TRT. Can't get dialed in or near it. Dude, I've seen these situations in coaching, and it pains me when men come to me extremely frustrated, having spent 2 to 3 to 4 years trying to dial in, various esters or various doses, various frequency, taking a lot of advice from the internet that it really isn't applicable in the real world. And they have ED, and they have libido problems, and they have climax problems. Trying to dial my numbers in. Can't figure it out. Should we continue, boys? Let's. Can't dial in HCG with TRT. The common conundrum of HCG. Low SHBG still can't get dialed in after 10 plus years. Anxiety and performance issues on TRT. Can't dial it in. 4.5 months in, can't get dialed in. Should I continue? Listen, this is the somber, cold, hard truth about TRT regarding libido and erections. Number one, testosterone isn't going to fix your erections and it isn't going to fix your libido, because that assumes that you could just inject testosterone at, any dose, call it a mid-range dose, 130 milligrams a week. Cypionate has a 7-8 day half-life. You should be able to inject it on a Monday, wait the whole week, inject again on a Monday. But since the sexual system's so complex and people's individual responses to esters, doses, frequency is so complex and individual, what if they're not using HCG? Testicles need to be functional. They bring in the HCG, skyrockets E2, right? Then you're not going to have erections, no question about it. Okay, you go to your clinic, they give you an anastrozole, 0.25 milligrams twice a week, Tuesday and Saturday, call it. That crushes your estrogen at the tissue level. And then you start having joint pain. Then you have full-blown ED. Then whatever libido you had goes completely away. You remove the AI. Think, maybe I need a higher dose. Maybe you go to 200 a week, once a week injections, how it's supposed to be injected. And that fails too. Then you have worse ED. You have H&H problems. Your libido goes to shit. You have acne all over your back. The only thing you're getting from it is some anabolism and some energy and masculinity and some confidence maybe. But sexual function is shit, so your confidence ends up being shit anyway. TRT, this is what I have both made a business on and what I've devoted my life to professionally, requires a scientific, direct, tailored approach to dial in sexual function that mimics, to the greatest extent possible, diurnal secretion of testosterone, which keeps the testicles functional and has a balance, the proper balance between dihydrotestosterone and estradiol. Dialing in, if you know how to dial in TRT, is not hard. But the information that's out there just doesn't cut it. And people have problems sometimes for years. All right, number two, some people are, as I alluded to in the beginning, never going to dial in on the ester that they're using. I don't care if you go down to 98 milligrams a week of test sip, 120 a week, you go all the way down to 70 milligrams a week, you start changing the injection frequency, you're doing 30 every third day. If cypionate doesn't jive well for you, which it doesn't jive well for a lot of people, you're never going to dial it in. You will never dial it in. You're just going to spin your wheels for a long, long time and be frustrated as hell. Listen, some people just need to be dosing the transcrotal cream for TRT, 4 to 5 pumps, 100 milligram per milliliter stuff, 200, 300 IU HCG every day. Thereafter, maybe their body is distributing the DHT versus the estradiol a little too in favor of DHT and not enough estradiol. So erections are fine, but libido isn't. Man, they got to change locations. Maybe 3 pumps on the forearm, 2 pumps on the scrotum. But you get the right dose of cream, the right frequency, the right application site, the right HCG, the right DHEA, you'll dial in. You'll have all the DHT you need. You won't have hair loss. Your libido will be crazy. Your erections are going to be amazing. And you'll fucking feel amazing and be anabolic. Test prop. I've popularized the use of that. Thankfully, because that stuff saves people's TRT protocols. Hits different. Peaks quickly. Lots of dopamine. Good bit of DHT. Doesn't have a long aromatization tail. Some people are just never going to dial in on cypionate, and they're going to need to use cream or prop. I don't care what you have to do with your clinic. If your doc or your clinic or your consult person at the clinic is just being a little stubborn with you, why not use testosterone cypionate? It's mainstream. Everybody can use it, and they just won't prescribe you other things. Fight for it. Ask for it. Don't take no for an answer. These clinics are at your fucking beck and call. You're paying them money. Get them to do what you want to do. Try different esters. Number 3, and this is probably the biggest driving force for people having problems with libido and erections on TRT, 95% of the information on the internet around dialing in sexual function or doing TRT is wrong. You have this whole camp that completely ignores all the scientific literature on estradiol and how it basically erodes penile function relative to erections, causes you to retain a bunch of water via jacking up your arginine vasopressin, inhibits dopamine at the fucking hypothalamic level, which is going to promote secretion of prolactin. It's what is given to men transitioning to be females. Okay. And if you talk to any TRT coach worth their weight in salt, they're going to tell you guys with elevated estradiol have a fucking hard time dialing in. And usually they've got ED. You know, people contend that as long as you optimize certain facets of your physiology, i.e. thyroid hormones, that you really don't have to worry about the estradiol all that much. And somehow your teeth, your free T3 and free T4 are going to manage concentrations of estrogen in your blood. No, they fucking won't. Your liver, because it plays a part. A lot of systems in your body play a part in excreting estradiol. Well, if you just start taking some Tutka and optimize it, maybe do an ultrasound, do you have fatty liver? That's going to fix the fact that you're on 175 milligrams testosterone, a week, and you're over aromatizing fucking regardless. It's not going to fix it. I see nobody, with the exception of like Dave Lee, Vigorous Steve, and a few others, expressing the importance of DHT, versus estradiol, but specifically an emphasis on DHT and how much that you need a good bit of it. People are just saying, like, talking about protocols, like some dose of cypionate. It's like, okay, fine. Where's the DHT? What if you don't convert enough to DHT? This matters so much, and people aren't emphasizing it, and it bothers me, and it's making it so folks can't dial in. There are a couple people on the internet that emphasize the necessity to have DHT, to have estrogen in your range, to have functional testicles. Dude, of the people out there talking about TRT, there's only a handful that know what the fuck they're talking about. Choose wisely in what you listen to. Number 4, as I said in the beginning, TRT can give you full-blown ED. Yes, injecting testosterone exogenously can give you erectile dysfunction. You know why? Because if you're taking bullshit information on the internet and you're not managing your metabolites, dialing in your protocol to have those metabolites fit where you need to be for proper sexual function, you're not going to have proper sexual function. Elevated estradiol in the presence of even mid-range DHT can cause sexual dysfunction. Elevated estradiol in the presence of superphysiologic DHT can cause sexual dysfunction. Top of the reference range estradiol, call it 35 or so, just a little bit over, in Questlab, picogram per milliliter, but with low conversion to DHT, likely to have erectile dysfunction. If you don't know that, and you don't know, hey, maybe I need to switch to cream, I've got to dial that in, maybe I get some high concentration, high potency exogenous DHT to add on top of the TRT protocol, that dials people in all the time. If you don't know these things, the golden rule of TRT, functional testicles, neural steroidal support with DHA, not pregnenolone, E2 in the 20 to 35 range, at least mid-range, preferably high level or slightly superphysiologic DHT. If you don't know the golden rule of TRT, you're never going to fucking dial in, and you're going to have ED. Number 5, the clinics. The clinics rarely know how to dial you in. They'll give you a anastrozole, they'll prescribe aromasin. In some cases, they'll be like, yeah, here, maybe take some oxandrolone. Anavar, it's an anabolic. It really does nothing to the sexual system. Yeah, it could lower SHBG a little bit, but that's not helping your libido, man. Give it 8 weeks, run bloods again. Oh, well, let's try this. So, maybe you need some pregnenolone. Maybe you need some topical DHEA. No, they're just overburdened. They don't have the time, and frankly, not a lot of them are surgical specialists on dialing in TRT for sexual function. That's just the truth. Lastly, every cookie cutter approach usually fails. I just broke this down in the Mastering Testosterone Cream course. All right, those of you on cream and haven't watched this, you have to watch it. You are missing critical information, especially if you're not dialed in. You are missing critical information that you need to know to dial in. The clinics prescribe 200 milligram per milliliter cream, and they tell you to do 2 pumps in the morning and 2 pumps in the evening, or 4 pumps in the morning. That rarely works out, guys. I've seen guys on just 2 singular pumps of the high concentration 200 milligram per milliliter cream go to 2,000 tests at peak. You think their E2 is going to be in range at 2,000 tests no matter how much DHA they have? The answer is no. Obviously, the other cookie cutter approaches, 200 milligrams of cypionate, 0.25 milligrams of anastrozole twice a week. It's just likely to end you in a weird fluctuation of estradiol, hematocrit problems, almost definitely, potentially blood pressure issues, joint pain, ED, libido problems via the AI, blocking estrogen at the brain tissue, the penile tissue, fucking with nitric oxide and all that stuff. The cookie cutter approaches almost always fail. So let me be the first to tell you, but not the first time, that you've sort of wondered if this is true. TRT is hard to dial in if you don't know what you're doing. It is not just the case that you start injecting testosterone or even putting cream on or even injecting prop and you're going to get satisfactory libido and erections. It is such a science. I have learned over the years that it's like without the understanding of what to do, you are fucked. Follow the golden rule of TRT, adjust your protocol, know how long to wait, know when to get bloods, know which hybrid protocols you might have to use, which DHT derivatives you might have to use, which DHT itself you might have to use, how to dial those things in. And I promise you, libido and erections will be awesome. But just starting to inject test or apply test at any level, like at whatever random dose, is not going to fix libido and erection problems. Changing a dose is not going to fix libido and erection issues. Some people are never going to dial in with the ester they're using. They have to switch. 95% of the information that you're finding on the internet is wrong. TRT can give you full-blown ED if DHT and E2 are not in the ranges they need to be. Clinics rarely know how to dial you in, and every cookie-cutter approach fails. Thankfully, though, I built a wellspring of information, products, and coaching that shows people the truth about how to dial in on cypionate, on test prop, on test cream, on test enanthate, on any ester that you choose. You just have to follow the golden rules. Listen, boys, right now, everything is 50% off for Black Friday. Look, if you've got to go at it alone and get yourself some high-potency DHT gel and get some test prop, because that's what's going to dial you in, just get source list, okay? Circumvent the clinic and do what is important for you. I put all the vetted sources together. It's on sources. You can get it at livecortex.com. It is 50% off right now. The code for that is BLACK50. 50% off of everything. Mastering testosterone cream for libido and erections. Listen, if you need to dial in on cream and you're having a hard time, or if you're switching to cream, this is the necessary guide. It is the rule book for testosterone cream in a video course. It is 50% off right now. Use the code BLACK50. Save a lot of money. Coaching, if you want to not go at this alone, this is what I have been doing for years. My job is to dial in sexual function with people that are on TRT, and I do it every day for years now. We have a 1-month program, a 3-month program, a 6-month program, a 1-year program. For those of you with the budget and that are serious about dialing in libido and erections, full restoration to sexual function, hire me, livecortex.com. Use the coupon code BLACK50. You're saving thousands of dollars on every single coaching program right now for Black Friday. Everything, all of the TRT products, whether it's coaching, source list, mastering testosterone cream, mastering testosterone cypionate, all of it is 50% off right now. Coupon code Black Friday. Let's go. All right, we've reached the conclusion of the video. Listen, take heed to these points because I just want all of you guys to make sure that we have a lot of videos. Go through them all. Hold on. I can't even think. It's got me all wound up. What is wrong with this chair? God. Damn it. Anyway, like the video, boys, please. It would make a huge difference if you did that. The mic. I guess it would help if I was talking to the mic. Let me just grab it. Give me this! God. The video's over. Been a pleasure hanging out with you, boys. Hope you've enjoyed the content. Seriously, take heed to everything that I've said. Like the video. It makes a huge difference to the algorithm and to our channel. I'd really appreciate if you hit the like button. Otherwise, sub to the channel. You want to be a part of one of the fastest growing TRT channels that talks to the real science on dialing in libido and erections on TRT. This is the one. I'd love to have you on board. Otherwise, kick ass. Enjoy the rest of your day. Rock on. Black Friday specials. Links are down below. Coupon codes are down below. I'll see you guys all week with content. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Right now for Black Friday, the coupon code BLACK50 saves you 50% on all TRT products. Coaching, one-on-one, sexual dysfunction resolution, fixing libido and erection problems on TRT, or from the use of hair loss drugs, 50% off right now. Coupon code is BLACK50. Enter BLACK50 at checkout, and you will save thousands of dollars on any coaching program that you want to book. Source list, a compilation of the most vetted sources for any anabolic you can think of, everything you need. Test of any ester, DHT, high potency gel. Also 50% off for Black Friday. Again, the coupon code for that is BLACK50, and it knocks 50% off of the price of the source list right now. Mastering Testosterone Cream, a revolutionary new course showing you how to dial in libido and erections on test cream, dispelling myths, showing you the protocols that work. 50% off. Coupon code again, BLACK50. Will knock 50% off of the price, reduces the price substantially, and you walk away with a great course for a lot cheaper. Mastering Testosterone Cypionate, a revolutionary course that shows you how to dial in libido and erections with one of the hardest esters in the world. We break it down, protocols included, 50% off. Again, coupon code BLACK50 saves you 50% on all of our major TRT products right now. Go to livecortex.com. Get what you need to optimize sexual function on TRT and save money for Black Friday now.